today on 2+U Nevada.
It was giving us a 12-week time frame to build it, and we did it way faster, and we set records.
The success story behind Esoteric Masonry, a company which started during COVID and that now has some big name clients.
A lot of parents have come up to me after the markets and just said, my kids were shy, and then all of a sudden they just get this confidence because they get really excited about their products that they create.
The organization providing kids from 5 to 17 years old the platform for entrepreneurship. You won't believe the stuff you can buy, all made by local youth.
I call us the concierge of death. We're just trying to make the very best of the very worst situation.
The amazing volunteers behind TIP Northern Nevada, what they do for those in a time of crisis. You're watching 2+U Nevada. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of 2+U Nevada. I'm Sarah Johns, your host. Well, guess what today is? According to National Day Calendar, today is National Mulligan Day, a day for you to give yourself a do-over. Do you have something that you'd like to attempt again? Or do you regret an action from this week and really just want a do-over? Celebrate the day by taking your do-over. Also, be considerate and offer a mulligan to a few friends and neighbors out there. Some days, we all deserve it. Just use hashtag National Mulligan Day to post on social media. We have a great show for you today. I'm really excited to introduce you to Children's Entrepreneur Market. It's a fairly new organization in its first year that educates our kids on being young entrepreneurs and all the skills it takes to be entrepreneurs through markets and fairs that have all kid sellers. Find out when the next kid market is. Also, we sit down with the leaders of the Parkinson Support Center of Northern Nevada. All too often, someone gets a diagnosis of Parkinson's and then has to wait months for any follow-up care. The Support Center bridges the gap and offers so much to patients and their families. Don't go anywhere. We are thrilled to have you joining us today for 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada, and I am joined by Mike Tenure, the owner of Esoteric Masonry. Mike, thank you so much for being here this afternoon.
Hey, thanks.
We love what you are doing. Talk about how you started Esoteric Masonry. Before this, you said it was post-COVID.
Yes, absolutely. Right when COVID hit, I had started my company with another general contractor. As soon as COVID hit, he pulled funding and just said, let's go do this on your own and see what you do. And that's what I did. And here we are about 5 years later.
And I said to you, sink or swim, and now you're swimming.
Totally, absolutely.
You are doing fantastic work. Talk about a couple of your most recent jobs.
Well, we just finished the Les Schwab in April, and it took us 7 weeks to build. It was giving us a 12-week time frame to build it, and we did it way faster, and we set records. So they were super happy with us. They would like us to travel and do some of their other buildings. We're not so sure if that's going to work for us, but the opportunity was amazing and definitely jump-started and kick-started our company to where it's going to be from now on.
And then the Troop Law Office.
Yes, absolutely. Julie Troop's law office. It's one of the most beautiful buildings in downtown Reno, and she really stepped up to the plate, and she inspired everyone downtown should do what she did with her building.
That is so neat, and you've got to feel so proud of you and your team to have a hand in that.
Yes.
Especially downtown, and it's such an iconic building. People know her building.
Absolutely, yes. And the bridge that's going on right down the street, it won't be too long before people are walking by that building every day in droves. So.
You call yourself I love this, the stone surgeon.
Yes. Yeah, that was when I first got my email years ago. That was it, and it stuck, and here we are.
How long have you been in masonry?
25 years. I've been a Mason 25 years, in the trades 30 years. But and now Esoteric Masonry is 5 years old.
I said to Mike, you must have been 5 years old when you started. But okay, so we're talking, you are adept at historical masonry.
Yes.
And the luxury market,
yes.
Commercial masonry. And what I love is that you said it's very important to you to integrate your products with nature and where we live. That's so important. You don't want to have a building stand out like a sore thumb.
Yeah,
Go
absolutely.
into that process.
Well, we've done it. In a lot of neighborhoods, they have architectural guidelines that you have to follow. And then you'll see some where it's just like, what happened with that house? And it just doesn't fit in, But we like to make everything fit in. The materials, the choices of materials, your location. There are stones that literally look like your area, and you can just blend everything in and make it magical.
Now, if somebody were to want to hire you,
Yes.
do they need to have a design first, or do you help them with that,
I
step by step?
absolutely help them design, for sure.
Really?
Yes. for
Okay,
sure.
so
And
walk
a
me through
million
that
ideas.
process.
Well, if they have no idea what they want, I will just start with some pictures or some ideas, and it depends on their space, what the location looks like. But then we just go from there. And then I have worked with other general contractors who are great designers too. And between the designers, general contractors, homeowners, and us, we always come up with something really, really nice.
That's so neat. And
Yes.
again, I love the fact that you're talking about integrating what you do with the surroundings and the exterior.
Yes.
Because it's really important in our neighborhoods. So I'm speaking about homeowners and that type of masonry, but you also do commercial, as we just mentioned.
So we build the buildings out of block, out of concrete and steel. Yes. The Les Schwab was 1.2 million pounds of just the products that we used, and roughly 7 miles of rebar in that building.
That's crazy.
It's
and then
pretty
how do
cool.
you beat the timeline?
Well, with Les Schwab, we were lucky. When we started Les Schwab, I had 7 employees. And then next thing you know, it was 15 Monday through Friday. And then on Saturdays, there would be 22 guys working on that project. And we just came in, killed it. We teamed up with a couple of other masonry companies that definitely helped us out. We subbed in the scaffold, that was an amazing structure of its own. And when we were done with that, we were really proud. It was insane, the production.
If you are interested or looking for your services, do people call you? You have a brick and mortar shop? You like that, brick and mortar?
Absolutely. I have a shop. It's more, there's nobody there usually. That's just where we keep stuff. But
Okay.
I do have a location. But no, they just get a hold of me either online or they call. And my website has a lot of traffic and people hit me up on that almost every day.
Okay, so let's pub your website. What is your website?
It is masonrycontractorreno.com. Kind of long, but still effective. And that you go there, or you can just Google Esoteric Masonry Ltd. That'll take you to my Google site. That'll take you to reviews, pictures, and then you can go to the website.
And then your phone number?
Yeah, 775-379-2999. And that's your masonry hotline.
We are so glad that you joined us this afternoon. Thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
And your work is just absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. We're
I
very
appreciate
proud.
your time.
Hey, thanks.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada, and joining us this afternoon, 2 very important women in our community, Dr. Mindy Lokshin and Ann Pott of the Parkinson's Support Center of Northern Nevada. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you so much for having us.
So Dr. Lokshin, you are the founder of this organization in Northern Nevada.
Yes, we founded this just over 4 years ago with a board of very dedicated, passionate volunteers.
Explain why our community had a need for this center.
Parkinson's disease is the fastest growing neurodegenerative disease in the world. And we estimate there's at least 5,000 people living with Parkinson's disease, plus their family members, coworkers, others in Northern Nevada. And when we founded the organization, there was nothing. There were no support services for people living with the disease, no educational programs, nothing.
And when you hear that diagnosis, Parkinson's, it really must hurt the heart, not only of the patient, but of the family members, just with the fear of what's to come.
Absolutely. It is very scary, and you're often given the diagnosis and said, oh, come back and see me in 6 months, and then what, right? But it's so important to know that people live with Parkinson's and they live well with Parkinson's, it is some would say it's a life sentence, but not a death sentence. It is something that you learn to adjust and adapt your life around.
And Anne, talk to me about the types of services that your center has.
Well, we're really excited because Mindy and I met through an advisory committee where we went to the Parkinson's community that exists here and asked them what they needed. And so from their voices, we developed programs to support them. So one of the things that came from that advisory board was the need for mentorship. As Mindy discussed, oftentimes when you are first diagnosed, you feel alone, ill-equipped. So we have a mentor program that is both for people living with Parkinson's and their care partners. So we have both.
And walk us through what that looks like, because like Dr. Lakshan said, you get diagnosed and then come back for your next appointment. So that person and family can then reach out to your organization and immediately be put with someone who can say, okay, next steps. This is, walking you through the process of not only medical, but life.
That's right. And so we also have support groups. We have support groups that are combined for people with Parkinson's and those living with Parkinson's, as well as people living with Parkinson's and specifically care partners. And one of the things that we're excited about is a care partner group for men.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yes. And we were talking before we sat down and started recording. We were talking off camera. And Dr. Lakshan, you and I were talking about, we just had in our studios earlier this week a new surgeon from Sierra Neurosurgery Group. And you were saying prior to her being in our region, the medical care wasn't necessarily super hyper local for Parkinson's patients.
Exactly. For Parkinson's disease is a movement disorder, meaning it affects how your body moves. And for that, the specialist is a neurologist who's had additional fellowship training in movement disorders. So we're talking someone who's done internal medicine, neurology, and a movement disorder fellowship, many years of training. And until a few years ago, we didn't have anybody in Northern Nevada with that expertise. Now we have Dr. Trong, who's at Reno, and we're really excited that Dr. Tay, who just joined Sierra Neurosurgery, is a neurosurgeon specifically trained in helping people with Parkinson's.
So we're starting to see the light in specialty care for people diagnosed with Parkinson's in our area.
It is huge. It's a huge, big step for our community.
I'm so glad to hear that. Well, both of you, thank you so much. If people have a new diagnosis, if their family member has a new diagnosis, where can they turn to for your help?
Parkinson's Support Center of Northern Nevada. So it is www.pscnn.org, or you can call our phone number 775-525-0205, or you can reach out to admin@pscnn.org.
Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada. Joining us this afternoon, Greg Nauman, the president, and Gabrielle Totten, the executive director of TIP of Northern Nevada. And this is such a phenomenal program. TIP stands for Trauma Intervention Program of Northern Nevada. Gabrielle, tell everybody a little about this.
Trauma Intervention Program is a team of specially trained citizen volunteers. We respond alongside police, fire, paramedics, and our volunteers are going to provide that emotional and practical support to survivors after things like natural death, suicide, drowning, infant death, things like that.
And Greg, you have a background in law enforcement, many years in law enforcement, and so you have actually seen the benefits of having a TIP representative respond. Explain a little bit about your history and how you saw them in action.
So I'm retired from the Washington County Sheriff's Office. I retired as the sergeant in the detective division. And I've not only witnessed the TIP volunteers in action, but I'm a client myself as being a first responder who's gone to these scenes and had to investigate, the tragedy that has occurred. But more importantly, I've seen what it looks like to not have a trauma intervention program in this area. But really, for me as a first responder, having a TIP volunteer there, knowing that someone is there to take care of that survivor while I'm trying to do my job and my investigation, it's reassuring to me to know that this person is being taken care of during the first initial couple of hours of a tragic incident.
Yeah, go into that. And I have a brief knowledge. Greg and I worked together at the Washoe County Sheriff's Office when I was the PIO there. But what would happen is when the detectives arrive on scene, their main job is to investigate and get the lay of the land and identify people and then put those people in specific areas of the home. But then they are investigating, and a witness or somebody who came home, it could just be seated there if it weren't for TIP, right? Kind of go into that aspect of a response in a critical situation.
Okay. So actually, long before the detectives often even get there, the first initial officers get on scene, right? The patrol usually will get on scene. So it may be a wife who has found her husband not breathing on the floor. She's called 911, done CPR. They are sending the police, fire, paramedics. All those folks get on scene. Then they will say, can we get a TIP volunteer to be with the wife, right? So then they'll call us. We'll get there within 20 to 30 minutes of that phone call. So shortly after she's done with her efforts to perform CPR and the emergency responders have got on scene, then the TIP volunteer will respond. And our goal is just to come alongside that wife and kind of be her support system while nobody else is there, and then navigate that call with her in terms of what to expect, what to anticipate. The medical examiner is on their way. The mortuary is coming. They're going to take your husband out. Would you like to say goodbye? Just working with them to try to, I call us the concierge of death. We're just trying to make the very best of the very worst situation.
Exactly. And the situation that you just described, I mean, if a person is performing CPR, that is a traumatic event for the survivor.
Yes. Oh, yes. People don't understand the magnitude of performing CPR on a human body. We take the class, we all get CPR trained, but when you actually have to do it, it's an entirely different ballgame. It's exhausting, it's emotionally, physically exhausting, and it's hard to watch. It's hard to witness, even as if you don't even do the CPR, the emergency responders get on scene and are doing it, and you have to witness it. That's incredibly difficult to witness. So being able to provide that high level of support to folks after traumatic things like that, whether they've had to perform the CPR or witness the CPR, that's a big deal.
And Greg, you said through the span of your career, you saw situations like this before TIP,
yes,
and now with TIP. Yes. And just describe the difference to folks at folks at home.
The difference is without a TIP volunteer, here's how it would go down, okay? So you'd have just a plethora of first responders showing up, asking questions, asking the same questions over and over again for different reasons, for different investigations, whether it's a paramedic or police officer or detective, we're asking the same questions often. That person they're stunned, they're confused by the process. And from my point of view, I've seen, well, this is what happens without a TIP volunteer, is that when the investigation is over and it's 2:00 in the morning, and all the first responders have another call to go to, it really is, I'm sorry for your loss, bye. And we leave that person, and that person is left there by themselves. They're confused, they don't know what to do next, they don't know what just happened. And as a first responder, you carry that baggage because you feel like, I just abandoned this person. They just lost their loved one, they're by themselves, and maybe they've got support coming, but maybe that family that's going to support them is driving from Stockton, right? Or maybe they're coming in from out of town and the death happened at a downtown casino, right? There's no one there, they're all by themselves. And as a first responder, we carry that going, man, I just abandoned that person. And now having a tip volunteer, knowing that when I leave to go to the next scene or to continue that investigation so I can do the best work for them, I've left them in the hands of a volunteer who can stay with them, not feel abandoned, and that's reassuring as a first responder. So it's a big impact on the folks that we deal with day in, day out.
So in 30 seconds or less, if you need more TIP volunteers, if you would like to donate to TIP to help your efforts, where do people go?
Our website, www.tipnnv.org. You can click on donate if you want to donate. You can click on volunteer. If you want to volunteer, get on the list of registrants, and we will get you all the information you need.
Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. Watching 2+U Nevada. This afternoon, Nikki Rubarth from the Alzheimer's Association of Northern Nevada is joining us. Nikki, you are the regional director. Thank you so much for being here to talk about a really emotional and important topic, and that's Alzheimer's.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Yes.
So first and foremost, we have an event coming up, October 18th at Sparks Marina. We've got the Northern Nevada Walk to End Alzheimer's. How can people get involved?
So people can get involved in a number of ways. They can participate, volunteer, show up on walk day. They go to alz.org/Northern Nevada Walk to find out more.
Wonderful. Okay, but let's talk about Alzheimer's more globally. Really and truly, this is a disease that can be so heart-wrenching for caregivers to see someone that they've loved, see the cognitive decline.
Absolutely. When you have loved someone and known them for many, many years, and to see those changes, and they can be gradual changes, but to see them losing their abilities to remember people and places and important events, it can be heartbreaking.
We were talking a little bit before we sat down here in studio, and you had a very good kind of way for family members and caregivers to gauge whether they should be concerned about their senior or their loved one's memory. You said everybody loses their car keys, but if a person forgets why they have car keys to begin with, that is kind of the difference.
Right.
The difference.
Right. And it's things. If you notice changes in things that you used to be able to do quite easily, or changes in a loved one, such as following a recipe or buttoning a shirt, the names of people and places that were once familiar, then those are things to maybe pay attention to and talk to your healthcare provider about. But keep track, keep a journal, make some notes.
That's a fantastic piece of advice, is to keep a journal. So are you telling a person to keep a journal on their own cognitive ability, or are you telling a family member or loved one to keep a journal on their loved one's cognitive ability?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think maybe both. So if you notice changes in a loved one, someone who you live with maybe, and you see every day and you've known them for a long time, and you're noticing those changes, then that's a good opportunity to really keep some notes. My father-in-law had a journal, and we found it after he passed, and he had written down the names of his children and his wife, so he could hold on to those memories because he knew that he was losing them.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And it makes me tear up. The Alzheimer's Association of Northern Nevada has some wonderful programs, not only for those living with Alzheimer's, but also for those who are supporting those and the caregivers. Go through your programs for us.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. So we have a helpline. So the best way to access any of our services, any of our resources, is to contact our helpline, 800-272-3900. And that's a 24/7 helpline. And then locally, we offer support groups. They meet around the region, different times of the day, different times of the month. They're free and they're available to caregivers. They can just show up. And they can often be a lifeline for caregivers because they get to learn from others what's worked for them, what resources they have found. And they can kind of try things out in a safe place. We have a number of education classes and workshops, everything from the warning signs of Alzheimer's that we talked about right through to caregiving at every stage. And then we have a respite program. So we're funded by Aging and Disability Services to help people in the same home, caring for someone in the same home, to get respite care.
Fantastic. When it comes to dementia, Alzheimer's, it's not only because we've been talking about family members and loved ones that are already established as having a cognitive decline in some form, but what can we do now in our 20s, 30s, 40s to try and prevent something like Alzheimer's?
Yeah, and that's a great question because we are learning so much more from the research about what we can do. The US Pointer study was just published a couple of months ago, and we learned from that there are certain risk factors that we can take charge of and we can modify to protect our brain health, our heart health, well into the future. And so those factors, those risk factors include nutrition, exercise, maintaining a healthy blood pressure level, making sure that you're staying connected, you're learning new things, and really a variety of different risk factors that together can help you to stay healthy and protect your brain health.
Fantastic. So do cell phone games and like match games really help?
If those are new and if you're learning new things and you're creating new pathways in your brain, then yeah. That's much better than sitting in front of the TV all day.
Unless it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you're watching 2+U Nevada. Nikki, thank you so much for joining us. We certainly hope that you have a lot of people out at your walk this weekend. And again, if you need any assistance, reach out to Nikki at what's the website again?
So alz.org/Northern Nevada Walk, or our phone number 800-272-3900.
Wonderful. Thanks for being here. Thank you. You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada. Joining us this afternoon, Laura Jasorka, the owner and operator of Reno Antique Fair. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. And thank you so much for having me. This is so cool. The Reno Antique Fair goes on for months in downtown Reno. Tell us a little bit about all of your festivals that you do.
So we started in June of this year. We did third Sundays of every month from June through October. October 19th is our next show. And then we will be back next year in April with a 7-show footprint. So this year's a little new, so it's 5 shows, but we do have a show coming up in December that we're really excited about as well.
Well, this is crazy. You are the owner and the operator of this. How did it all start?
Well, I've been in this business for over 25 years, but I started this on a very small scale. It was just a flea market that I started here in Reno. And it sort of just kept snowballing into what we see today, which is exciting. And I'm love to see the participation and the community be a part of it. It's been really great.
Well, and you say that it snowballed. How many vendors do you have?
We're at 140 vendors, and that includes food trucks and antique and vintage vendors. And it's just been a great event for the family oriented. We have, ice cream for the kids, and then all the amazing antiques and vintage for everyone to look through.
And talk about some of the things that people can find.
Oh, that's a plethora of stuff. I mean, truly, you can find yourself furniture, jewelry. There's plenty of painting and artwork, which is incredible. Salvage, lighting. It's just been, and there is everything you can possibly imagine. When you go to a flea market or an antique fair, you pretty much find exactly what you were thinking about finding at ours. So.
Is it too late for people to participate and get into the October 19th if they want to be a vendor? How does that work?
So they would just go to the website, which is renoantiquefair.com, and you would go ahead and purchase a vendor ticket, which looks just like that here on the back screen. And with that, you can sign up. But we only have about 6 booths left for the October 19th fair, so we're at almost capacity. But yes, the tickets are available about 30 days before the show. So we're coming up on the end here for the October 19th show, and we're getting close. But if you'd like to sign up, please do. Also, it's free to attend for families, all ages. If you're just coming to walk the show, please come by from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and it's free for you to attend.
And you are located right under the Reno Arch, right?
That's correct.
So October 19th from 10 to what?
To 4 p.m.
10 to 4 p.m. But that's for the October event. And then you have a special event coming up in December.
Yes.
So go into that a little more.
So we have a holiday market on December 21st. It'll be at the National Bowling Stadium in downtown Reno. And that'll be from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Also free admission, free bowling, free all of it. So that'll be a really fun show for everyone that wants to come out and bowl and shop for their last minute holiday gifts. But yeah, there'll be 100 vendors there, and those tickets for vendors that are interested in signing up to vend for that one will be available at the end of October. So you'll be able to get your ticket for the December show online again on our website, and then otherwise come and join us on December 21st. We're also going to have Santa Claus there for free Santa photos for the kids, so it'll be a really fun holiday event.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
Great free shopping.
Yes, right?
Well, the shopping part isn't free, but free family fun and shopping mixed in. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada. So excited to have Jocelyn Vance with us this afternoon. She's the Reno Children's Entrepreneur Market Manager. And Jocelyn, I actually saw this event on Facebook and I immediately reached out to you because I absolutely love the idea behind this kids market. Go into the history of the Children's Entrepreneur Markets.
Okay. The Children's Entrepreneur Market is a nonprofit organization that started in Utah in 2017. And after running in Utah and selling out for 5 years in a row, they had a goal to reach out and be in all 50 states. And so right now, currently, they're in 46 states throughout the country, and with the goal by the end of the year to be in all 50 states.
And this is so cute. I love what you have brought. These are local kids, local entrepreneurs that then sell their wares at these kids markets. And so kind of show us an example of what you brought. I absolutely love, for example, this. A young man, you said it's a young man who did this. So he has a 3D printer and he makes these darling little pots. And this is just an example of one of the entrepreneurs' work that you can get at kids markets. And so you've had multiple kids markets so far this year, correct?
Yes.
How many have you had?
We've had 7 markets so far this year.
And you have another one coming up?
Uh-huh.
I'm grabbing this little guy too to bring up.
Yeah.
As well.
This is a little a candle inside of here. So.
Oh, how cute. My daughter would love this. Yeah. She loves frogs. She's always looking for the prints. But okay, so your next children's market is at Rancho San Rafael. When is that?
It is on November 8th. It's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. There at the San Rafael Park.
And you will take children vendors all the way up till, are you still looking for kids to participate?
So our market is for kids ages 5 to 17, and we are looking for vendors, always looking for kid vendors to come and sell and show off their creativity. And so it's just a fun opportunity for kids to learn how to be an entrepreneur, to come up with a product idea and then to market it and to get it out there, and then also to learn communication with the people in the community, and also just learn all about money and how to use money and things like that.
You think of all the lessons that these kids are getting, not only creating an item to sell, but then figuring out its value. And like you said, there's so many lessons and the soft skills of having to actually talk to a customer.
Yeah, it is really neat to watch these kids. A lot of parents have come up to me after the markets and just said, my kids were shy, and then all of a sudden they just get this confidence because they get really excited about their products that they create and that they worked so hard on. So it's a lot of fun to just watch these kids get out of their shells and interact with the community.
As a parent, you're a parent and your kids participate in this. What is the greatest takeaway, do you think?
I just love that they have something worthwhile to work on. You know, like my son, he actually has a business where he makes these wooden pens, and his older brother taught him how to work on a lathe to make wooden pens. And so we thought it would be a fun idea for him to create a wooden pen business. And
this is beautiful, you guys.
And so he's had a lot of fun just kind of creating these pens, and just we've learned how to, research where to find all the materials, and then just whenever he's bored or something, I just send him out to work on a pen. And so it's really nice for him, and then he's excited because he knows he's gonna get something from it. So.
And he even, not only is he getting something from it when it comes to selling, but he also got a scholarship. Go into the scholarships that Children's Entrepreneur Markets put out.
Yeah. So we have every year the Children's Entrepreneur Market gives scholarships. We get sponsors throughout the country, and they give these scholarships to these kids. And so they have kids put in applications, and then the kids just have to show, have a good business strategy and show that they have a desire to grow their business. And so these sponsors review their scholarship applications. The kids send a video of their product and share about, how they want to grow their business. And so then these sponsors throughout the country select different kid entrepreneurs to award these scholarships to so they can grow their business.
I just absolutely love this. Follow, what's the website?
Kidsmarkets.com.
Kidsmarkets.com. Go to kidsmarkets.com. You have your next event on Facebook, but tell everybody where it is. Meet the Turkeys.
So the Washoe County Parks and Open Spaces has an event called Meet the Turkeys at the Rancho San Rafael Park. And so at this event, they have turkeys and they have activities for kids. They have a story time. And so we partner with local events. And so we partnered with them to bring the kids market to the Rancho San Rafael Park. And so we'll have this kids market going on at the same time. So you can do the kids market and this event at the same time.
And if you think that your kid wants to become a kid entrepreneur, also head to that same website.
Kidsmarkets.com.
Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. Finally, this afternoon, protecting our kids online is a full-time job, and it's only getting tougher. But a new app is using artificial intelligence to try and help you stay one step ahead. Tina Kraus has the story.
With every tap, smartphones open a gateway of possibilities for kids.
Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube.
And a world of worry for parents. But an artificial intelligence-driven app is offering a new kind of digital safety net. Rather than banning or restricting access, Swaley retrains feeds in real time.
It kind of filters and identifies harmful content within social media, and it alerts both children and parents about it, and it helps them deal with it. It gives them tips and tricks of what they're being exposed to.
Swaley worked with more than 2,000 families from the US and UK to create the app.
Everything that you told us actually helped us build the app.
77% of children told the company social media is damaging their health, and most feel powerless to stop it.
And 72% specifically of UK kids told us that in the last week they had seen something negative that had made them anxious, angry, sad, or kind of annoyed or uncertain about life.
Swaley uses 36 AI filters to expose harmful themes.
Everything from over-sexualization to unrealistic body standards, toxicity, misogyny, violence.
Teachers say it's a welcome tool.
It has the capability through its AI to understand the latest trends in a way that, frankly, even I as an educator who works with children every day, we can't stay on top of it.
What I've seen recently.
AI-powered protection, designed to detect what parents might miss. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
I looked up Swaley on the app stores this morning, and while the app is free, you use it with a Swaley filtering account. And don't get fooled when you look at the Swaley website, the prices are in pounds. A single license is £5 a month, so like $6.70. A family plan with 5 licenses is close to $17.45. And that's a wrap on our week of 2+U Nevada. Thank you for inviting us into your home this afternoon. We hope you're going to have a fantastic weekend, and we look forward to joining you every weekday at 3 for 2+U Nevada. 2 News Nevada at 4 starts now.